My bad. I forgot clicking the button record. Done that. So let me show you how I done that. Okay, here derivative with respect to x of the function here. So we treat y as a constant. Derivative of a sum will be the sum of derivative. So it will be like this. Then we treat square root of y as a constant. We can take it out of the derivative. It will be square root of y d over dx of x squared plus derivative of the function psi of x cubed plus y squared. So it will be derivative of the inner function right here, which is derivative of x cubed plus y squared times sine of this. Okay. So derivative of x squared gives us 2x. Derivative of x cubed plus y squared, we treat y squared as 0. Therefore, derivative of this with respect to x will be 0. Derivative of x cubed gives us 3x squared. Then we rewrite cosine of this, like this guy. Okay. Same things. 6b, take derivative with respect to y, treat x as constant. So it will be derivative of with respect to y of square root of y times x squared. Derivative of sine of the function, it will be derivative of that function times cosine of this. Therefore, simplify it, we have this result. Go to the question C. By definition, f sub x, y here. It will be d over dy of df over dx. We found the result of df over dx above from the question A, substituted here with this guy, okay? Then we do it slowly here. We treat x as a constant. So therefore, the summation rule, it would be d over dy of square root of y times 2x. This guy, be careful. Okay, 3x squared, we treat it as constant. We don't care about this. Here, when we take d over dx, d over dy, that is why we have this. So now d over dy of the function cosine here, it would be d over dy of the things inside, which is this guy. Multiply with negative sign of this formula. Let's look at that. D over dy of square root of y give us 1 over 2 square root of y. There's a formula. Look at that. Here, the negative sign, we bring it up here. 3x squared. Then d over dy of x cubed give us 0. And here d over dy of y squared give us 2y times sine of this. Okay, simplify it. We have this final result right here. Does it? Same things. 6d here. df of yx here is df over dy and then d over dx again. D over dy, we know that from the 6b, substitute the result here, then we take derivative with respect to x. This guy, in terms of y, we treat it as constant. Therefore, derivative of the first term, it becomes this time derivative with respect to x of x squared. And here, d over dx of this, we treat 2y as a constant. This guy, derivative of cosine of a function here, it would be d over dx of this function, and then multiply with negative cosine, negative sign of this. Then, what do? Here, d over dx of x squared gives us 2x. D over dx of x cubed gives us 3x squared here. Okay, the negative sign, we bring it up here. We have this guy. And then we simplify the like term. We have this. Okay, that's it. Question E, same principle. D over dx and then d over dx again. The result df over dx, we found it in 6a. Plug it in here, then we treat the y term as a constant. Derivative of a sum will be sum of derivative. This is a constant. Oops. So we can take it out of the derivative with respect to x. Here, be careful. This is the derivative of a product of two functions depending on x. So therefore, we have to use the product rule. Product rule tells us that it will be derivative of the first term times the second term plus the derivative of the second term times the first term. Do it slowly. So d over dx of 3x squared gives us 6x here times cosine. D over dx of cosine of this guy, it would be derivative of x cubed plus y squared times negative sine of this, and then write down 3x squared of this. So simplify it. We have this guy. Okay, is it clear? Just do it slowly and double check it yourself. The question F here, the same story. dfyy here, d over dy of df over dy. The df over dy, we can find it in 6b, right? So write it down and take derivative with respect to y of this function. So it means that we treat the x term as constant. So write it down. The number 2, we can take it out of the derivative. And then we take d over dy of 1 over square root of y here. Here again, remember, this is a product, two things depending on y. So we have to do it carefully. We have to use the product rule. Product rule tells us that it will be derivative of the first term times the second term plus the first term times derivative of the second term here, and derivative of 1 over square root of y. 1 over square root of y, we can write it as y to the negative 1/2. So derivative of that, we bring the power down here, and the power of this becomes negative 1/2 minus 1. Simplify it, we will have this final result. Okay, that's it.